So I am super excited to be making this card today with the new February stamps. I am not sure how this is going to work out. I've never done a card like this, but I figured I'd just wing it, and then if I make a mistake, whatever, right? So all I've taken is a 4 1/4 inch wide card, and this is 11 inches long. And I didn't measure. You can measure if you want. I just put the paper together and then just kind of folded it over. Okay, so I have 2 paper pads. These are the 2 paper pads I'm going to be using, the All About a Boy and Well Played. They're both by Echo Park, I believe. No, this one's Echo Park, this is Cartabella. And so let's get started. So I'm not going to be, this is going to be like a thrown together card. So the first thing I'm going to do is this going to be my top layer. I want it to fold over so it folds out and then out. So this top layer here, I am just going to be using the bottom half of it. So I'm just taking adhesive, and not even the bottom half, like a bottom 1/4 of it. I'm just placing it down there. Yay, glitter. Okay. If you know me, I am like a glitteraholic, and so there's always glitter everywhere. And I'm just lining it up, pressing it down. Now before I cut this piece off here, I'm going to be taking this and just randomly cutting the whole entire piece until I get to that edge. That right there. Flip it over. Then you're only cutting off the part that you need to cut off, and you have a bigger piece to work with above, like that. Now this piece is going to be discarded. You can use it for another project, whatever your heart desires. Just cut that off like that. So there is our first little fold. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing to this. Now you can see right here, because I didn't measure, how there's a little bit hanging off to make it go all the way over so the front of the card looks correct. I don't care personally, but if that's something that bothers you, then just measure your card correctly. Don't do what I did. So we're gonna do the exact same thing to this one. This time we're gonna go a little higher. So I'm gonna put my first line there and then go, whoops, all the way down. Is the front of the card. So it'll open this way, then open this way. And I'm okay with it like being a little distressed on the sides. You can save this for a different card, whatever you want to do. Because I'm going to actually take, you can take a distress tool, whatever you have, and just kind of distress the edges a little. Just using some scissors. The next thing I'm going to do is just take, this is the Veggin' Out set from February, which I'm super excited about. And I'm just going to take a bunch of these little vegetables and stamp them out on paper. I'm just going to be choosing papers out of these 2 packs and cutting them out, and then we're just going to paper piece them, and then I'll be right back. So I thought I'd show you this quick little tip. Whenever I'm paper piecing, if I'm not using the actual paper piecing as the base, like I made a white base for it, I wanted to show you how I cut it. I do not follow the lines. I just kind of roughly go like this and cut it out. All it needs is something for it to glue the top and the bottom to, and it saves a ton of time. There's no need to cut exactly the outline of the white piece because nobody's going to be seeing this piece. So it really just needs a base for it to glue to. So you can see here's my little radish. and my corn. Okay, so I've cut out all my pieces and paper pieced them together. They're not quite finished. I'm going to highlight them a little bit with some Copic markers. I also put a piece of blue on the background here. So that's kind of what it looks like right now. Then I'm just going to be taking tumbled glass and broken china. So here's tumbled glass. And ink that baby up. And you just start from the edge and go off. I just want a little bit of color added to the edges so it's not so stark. Now, a key to this, if you want it to go all the way down, you just fold this over so you don't see those sides, and it'll go on there also. Broken china. Now this one's darker, so I'm just going to be doing it very lightly on the edges. Now I want this to be kind of like a distressed look. So, okay, so I just have a mini mister here. I don't want it sprayed. I want it more drops. There we go. I don't know if the camera's really picking that up. Kind of see those little droplets there. And they kind of raised up a little bit because it's pattern paper, which is kind of cool. Okay, so on to, no, not yet, not the front part. Okay, next we have all of our little veggies here. Okay, so I have two colors here. This is YG63 and YG11. And I'm just going to take the darkest, which is the YG63, and kind of highlight a little bit of where it would be. Not much. I want the pattern paper to really be the show and stand out. However, I do want a little more depth to these, to the broccoli and whatnot, so. I'm just kind of going over it really quickly. Oh, duh. Well, I guess that'd be good if you guys could see what I'm doing, huh? It's been crazy here. We are getting ready to go to Colorado. Well, some of us are. Some of us are staying behind. Me and the kids. My brother's wife is having a baby on Friday. I'm going to be an aunt again, so I'm super excited about that. Okay, and then here I want the base to be a little bit dark. Okay, so then there we go. I'm just taking the YG11. I can't even think. I have so many things I got to do today. And just kind of blending out the harsh lines of this. And you can see I'm leaving the pattern paper showing there where I want the highlight. And I want to tell you, I totally forgot what kind of ink I used. This is the VersaFine ink, and it's not ruining my tips at all. I think if you let it dry enough and you just go over it really quickly, I think it works just fine, but that's just me and my experience. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing to all of these green parts here. You'll see I'm not doing it very precise, like whatever. That's what this is for. Blend that out. That's what I love. Jeez, I am struggling here. Okay, so that's why I love the Copic markers. See, you get this really cool tone on tone effect there, but yet it's not a whole lot of work. laying the base here. Be a little more careful so I don't go on top of the actual cob piece. Highlight. Like that. And then I have one more little piece that's green. And this one is going to get just a teeny bit right here. Top and bottom. Okay, that's my green pieces. I'm going to do the same thing with the red, the yellow, and then this one, I'm going to use probably browns. So, okay, so I just noticed I wanted one more piece here, and so I'm using a new piece of paper because the other piece of paper was long, but the arrows were going that way, so this is directional. So I'm going to stick it at the bottom here. And I'm only going to be using it at the very bottom. So, okay, so when you open this, I'm gonna have to do one more. Yes, this is a learning experience for me. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just going to be taking the tape. And this card already is very dimensional, so I'm not going to be putting anything up on dimension. But this one I might need to cut. Let's see. So if I put this there, and then place this one over here, and then snip this one for the front. Yeah. So there's the front of the card so far. And so when you open it, 1, 2, and then in here I'm going to be putting a little sentiment. I'm just going to put I love you bunches in the corner here. There you go. Pushed a little too hard, but it's all right. And technically you could put some little clouds or whatever you wanted up here. The last thing I'm going to do is grab my favorite craft twine from Trendy Twine. And to keep this closed because it's so dimensional, I'm going to put a little, just a smidgen notch here. And one right there. And I want the bow to end over here, so I start my twine right there. Go into that notch, around, and around. And I'm going to tie a bow so that they can open it. Okay. Kind of pull these up just a little bit to give it a little more dimension. Okay, so there's the card, and then all you do is open it. And open, open, I love you bunches. And then this just wraps around and ties. There we go. So thank you for watching, and I hope that you go and create something that is perfectly imperfect, and I will see you next time. Bye.